Get in, comrades. We're going to North Korea today, and we're going to try and meet some influencers. Let's see what this is about.
This is Song A. She's
Hello.
an influencer. She tells stories about her everyday life, using an over-the-top British accent.
Hello, everyone.
Sometimes she goes
Whoa.
hiking.
Nice to see you again.
That makes you wonder, did she get some early schooling in Britain? Kind of like our boy Kim Jong-un, where he went to Switzerland? Was she one of the privileged few to travel abroad?
Sometimes she cooks.
I think that something's missing.
All pretty normal. But there's one thing that makes
That British accent's kind of weird. That makes me wonder if they just allowed her to watch British media or if she actually went to the UK for a couple of years. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Song A stand out. She's from North Korea.
Can you guess where I am right now? Everything is under control as it used to be,
Huh.
and everyone is just fine.
This all seems
If she's never traveled abroad, I'm not going to lie, that's some impressive performance, and the rehearsal they made her go through must have been pretty intense for her to get a British accent that quickly.
a bit odd.
There goes the bell.
Because she seems pretty young. She seems like she's younger than 10.
I come in spring to look at the flowers, so cheer up.
And she is by no means the only North Korean influencer.
Bananas!
Good morning.
Come visit North Korea.
Hi, everyone.
They got TikToks on North Korea too. What?
How embarrassing.
What is going on here? In the last few years, more and more social media channels have been popping up that give us a glimpse into what North Korea is actually like. Well, allegedly.
I'm going to show you the changing appearance of Pyongyang and people's daily life, as well as mine. There are so many items, different in color, shape, and flavor.
A lot of North Korean content
I like how that's a flex in North Korea. I mean, at least in the US, that's just a typical Tuesday if you ask me.
goes viral.
If anything, where's the cookies and cream? Where's the ube? Where's that? You don't have that. We have that in the US.
Especially on TikTok. Finally, the world gets to see a different side of this mysterious country. The beautiful beaches, for example.
The North Korea they don't show you.
The full refrigerators,
Yeah, but that beach is empty as fuck. Come on, guys.
where you can even find bananas. Or how beautiful the
And if your country has to flex bananas, is that really a flex?
capital is, lit up at night. They show people
Okay,
strolling
now
down the
that was an impressive skyline that we just saw.
street,
I'll give him that.
enjoying a beer in a bar, or snacking on fast food. The good life.
All North Koreans have cars.
Okay.
Videos like
All Americans have cars. Even a lot of South Koreans have cars. So,
this one gain over 40 million views. The channels are supposedly run by locals, living in the beautiful DPRK, proud citizen of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. But wait a second. How can these channels
by proud citizen, they mean proud leader. I'm sure you have to be like some top secret elite to get access to that kind of stuff. And even then, they monitor the hell out of it. It's probably like the North Korean PR team that really runs those accounts.
even post their videos from North Korea?
Also in Nordkorea gibt es zwar ein Intranet und da gibt es auch diverse Apps und so weiter. Also
Just be ready, guys. There's probably going to be a lot of situations where I put on the good old theoretical tinfoil hat.
ganz hinterm
If I was a
Mond
hat guy,
nicht.
that is.
Aber die haben kein Internet.
This is Dr. Rüdiger Frank. He's a professor of East Asian Studies at the University of Vienna and has been studying North Korea for over 30 years. Ordinary citizens in North Korea don't have access to our normal internet. Only a few thousand of the 25 million inhabitants have this privilege.
6,000 of 25. Holy crap.
And even those have only limited access. So
That's like less than 1%. What the hell?
it's very unlikely that an ordinary citizen in North Korea would record these videos and post them online on TikTok. It makes you wonder who is actually running these accounts. Anyone duped by these videos could probably spend some time improving their critical thinking skills. Luckily, there's an app that helps you do just that. Brilliant is an interactive learning platform where you can learn by problem solving, not rote memorization. Brilliant has a fantastic course on scientific thinking, where you can learn key scientific
What should I do
principles and
about this
theories.
ad? What should I
By
do
learning
about
the
this
rules of
ad?
collision, chances are high that you will outperform your friends in a game of snooker.
Sorry, bro, but I'm not sponsored, so I'm just going to skip through this. All right. Let's get back to the meat of it.
% discount on an annual premium subscription. Let's take a closer look at Song A's account.
I'm Song A-in from Pyongyang. I'm 11 years old and 5th year in the
That
primary
British
school.
accent. She's
Her
11,
channel was
okay.
founded in January
So I was
2022.
wrong. I thought she was under 10.
With her videos, she wants to showcase what life is like in North Korea to her more than 30,000 curious foreign viewers.
Pyongyang, where I live, is a very beautiful and magnificent city. Have you ever been to Pyongyang? Well, if you
No,
come here, you'll
because
be
they've locked down Pyongyang for the past 5 years.
totally surprised because literally wherever you go, there are amusement parks.
Her content should probably have a certain feel-good quality, like this trip to a water park.
Yeah, there's amusement parks everywhere over here as well. I mean, if I want something better than an amusement park, I can go just a couple blocks away over here in West Hollywood. I can party at the Sunset Strip. I can party at the Santa Monica Strip. You
with her
can't do
friends.
that.
In this episode, Song-A takes us with her on her first day at a new school. Later, she takes us along on a trip to a children's hospital. But she's not there because she needs medical assistance.
However, my heart was pumping with the desire of going to the only children's hospital. Oh, how I wish I could stay here and play all day.
Song-A's video
I like how she turned it into passion, that she's sick because of her passion for the hospital, not because she has an actual sickness, but because she's so passionate about going to the North Korean hospital that
don't
it made
feel
her
authentic.
need
like
medical
she's reciting
attention.
lines by heart.
I love it.
See, this is my
I love a
school.
good patriot.
This is junior middle school. Already I can feel that I have both time here for 3 years. Second, I have studied well and got a certificate.
Her movements
And the funny part is that even though this is supposed to be a vlogging channel, this looks awfully professional for an 11-year-old that's doing a vlogging channel. Like the camera, the editing, the filters, this looks overly professional for what's supposed to be a basic vlogging channel about North
some
Korea.
studied.
I wish with all my little heart that you all,
Like dear leaders really pulling out all the stops for this PR stunt.
like us, would overcome these harsh difficulties.
She doesn't even seem like a normal 11-year-old. The fact that she speaks fluent British English is allegedly thanks to her mother. She taught it to Song-A from a very young age. But Song-A leaves out a few important details. She is not just any kid growing up in North Korea. She's the daughter of a North Korean diplomat. She spent part of her childhood in England. She's the granddaughter of the vice foreign minister and great-granddaughter of the former supreme military commander of North Korea. Her family belongs to the elite and is close to the ruling Kim family. A media company run by the North Korean state has allegedly been publishing content on social media platforms since 2017. According to research by the portal NK News, Song-A is part of these propaganda productions, and her channel is just one of many. There's the YouTube channel Echo of Truth with Un-A, which has since
What's
been
up,
deleted.
Hello, my
Pyongyang?
dear friends. I wish this beautiful April day could cheer you up a little bit.
Good
Originally
morning,
in the sunset,
Pyongyang.
Yumi
Hope you
Space
have a good
Dark
day.
Daily. Also deleted.
And now, you
Oh,
might be
Yumi, I
wondering
remember
who
Yumi.
the owners of this splendid new flats are. Believe me or not, houses here are given to ordinary working people free of charge.
I will admit, these buildings do look kind of badass.
However, it's hard to say whether all of these accounts about North Korea are all state-sponsored propaganda. Zoe Discovers, for example, works for a British tourism company in China, Koryo Tours, and Young Wai Shin, that offers trips to North Korea. In over 200 videos on her YouTube channel and on TikTok, she shows us the beautiful sides of the country. She visits North Korean festivals, goes skiing, or shows us how North Korean families live.
Are you happy to be going back to Pyongyang? Yeah.
According to her own
That is a
statements,
nice mountain
she
in
does
the
not
back,
receive
too.
anything in return for her content. It is not a propaganda account and not sponsored by the North Korean government. We were unable to verify this, however.
Gerade wenn die länger bestehen und wenn die professionell gemacht sind, kann man schon davon ausgehen, dass das mit Billigung des Staates passiert und das wird
Ja, see.
also für uns definitiv
I brought that up earlier in the video. Like, obviously, the state has one hell of a production crew trying to make it look as real as possible,
unter Propaganda.
but it's actually working against them because if it was an honest vlog, it wouldn't look that professional.
So her content might be actively tolerated because it paints a favorable picture, even if she might produce it independently. North Korea loves propaganda on state
They
television,
sure do.
on giant screens projected onto hotel walls, or as action movies. Kim Jong
Yeah, if you look at one of the many videos or documentaries on North Korea, you'll see that there's a lot of propaganda posters of just people praising the North Korean government or being ready for the war and just, It's just all propaganda. Like almost every single billboard and poster you see there is some sort of propaganda about the state. It's really
Kim Jong-un
dystopian.
was
It's
not
Big
democratically
Brother
elected.
vibes.
His rule is based solely on ideology. Somehow, he has to legitimize that power.
Die Legitimation in solchen Systemen wie eben Nordkorea läuft in ganz wesentlichen Teilen über die Propaganda.
This applies both within and outside the country. Everything found on social media is propaganda meant for the outside world. Of course, because North Koreans don't have the internet. That content is primarily intended to prove how well the country is doing. Life in North Korea is supposedly not as miserable as the Western media make it out to be.
They try so hard to make this a point that just based off of the documentaries that I've seen, I've noticed that in almost every single one of them, the people that are there, they have to be very careful with what they record because apparently the guards will go through your phone, through your cameras, and they'll delete any footage that they think is negative. So I think a couple of things that are frowned upon is anything that's of the military. They don't want you recording the military. They also don't want you recording construction. And if you're taking a train through North Korea, they don't want you like recording like the farmers and like the more rundown parts of the country, which I'm sure they do end up crossing through.
North Korea.
Quite the opposite. Just take a look. North Korea has great schools, hospitals, better fast food than McDonald's, and even banana. Just to be
Bananas.
clear, the truth is that there is virtually no prosperity in North Korea. 60% of all North Koreans live in absolute poverty. It is one of the poorest countries in the world. These videos are aimed at people in the West, but according to Professor Frank, also at Japanese, Chinese, and above all, South Koreans. And depending on the target group, the aim of the propaganda on social media might differ. With regard to South Korea, there is a very specific, long-term goal: a united Korea in line with North Korean ideals. To do this, the North presents itself as strong and proud vis-a-vis.
That would never happen because let's say the North, they do invade the South. These North Korean soldiers, they're going to see how much better it looks like in the South just from the skyscrapers and the villages that they see and like the better technology. They're going to see this. They're going to be like, what the hell? This whole time, the South has been better off than us. And we just invaded it. And that could turn into a very hairy situation for Kim Jong-un. Like all this stuff that the North Korean government's rattling, the saber rattling or whatever you want to call it, that's all just smoke and mirrors. Like they're never going to do it. They just do that to bring fear into like the world to make sure nobody messes with the North Koreans. But I swear to God, if you have a couple of everyday North Korean soldiers invading the South and they see like all the stuff that they got going on over there, they're going to switch their allegiances real quickly, and it could be a really hairy situation if there were to be a unified North Korea. It's just never going to happen. Also, China wouldn't approve of it either because China does a lot of trade with the South. Like, ironically, the South Korea is one of China's biggest trading partners. So that's never going to happen. Like, first, because the citizens would end up learning too much about the South. And two, because that would mess with one of China's largest trading partners. I think South Korea is like in the top 5 for China's trading partners. So yeah, and the whole reason why the North Korean regime is still a thing is strictly because of China.
The regime generally accuses the South of being the exact opposite: a richer but weaker country due to American influence. Not real Koreans, so to speak. North Korea, on the other hand, is the place to be for real Koreans in that logic. Of course, South Korea doesn't like this at all. There is a serious concern that citizens will fall for this narrative and become receptive to the North Korean ideology. The country takes the propaganda on social media very seriously and blocks it for its own population.
Das heißt, wenn man in Südkorea irgendwo was Nordkoreanisches sehen will, geht das nicht. Da kommt sofort irgendwo eine ominöse Nachricht da auf den Screen, und wenn man das zu oft versucht, kriegt man auch direkt mal eine Nachfrage vom südkoreanischen Geheimdienst. Was machst du da eigentlich?
Song A's YouTube channel
That's some Big Brother stuff.
in South Korea. YouTube has also deleted the
I did not expect that from South Korea. I thought they would be allowed to see North Korean content just because of the whole
channel for violating the company's guidelines. North Korea will probably try again.
Damn.
The propaganda often comes across as rather clumsy and flat, but social media is great for reaching a lot of people despite low production expenses. The homemade aesthetic of the videos blends in particularly well on TikTok. It is not surprising that videos about North Korea have captured so much attention. The country is completely isolated from the rest of the world. You rarely find out what everyday life is like for real citizens. When a video like this appears in the feed, a lot of people are captivated. It's unfortunate that this very desire to simply learn more about this strange place and its people is so strategically exploited and perverted, which is something that YouTubers luckily never do. The real North Korea continues to be largely withheld from us because a cruel regime has absolutely no interest in new.
It's kind of wild how Seoul is technically a 5-hour drive away from Pyongyang, but the two countries are in completely different worlds. It's absolutely mind-boggling to me, and how different their ideologies are. Even though they share a border, the two capitals are within a 5-hour drive of each other. It's just completely wild. But one thing I did learn from this video is how strict the South Korean government is when it comes to like North Korean propaganda. I thought they'd be a little more comfortable with allowing South Koreans to kind of see North Korean stuff. But yeah, because obviously South is the better country economically. But yeah, let's see some of the comments over here. Everything is under control as it used to be, and everyone is just fine, is something I'd say if I was in a hostage scenario and had a pew pew pointed at me off screen. Yeah, that is fair. Let's see. When somebody tells me, look, we even have bananas, it makes me realize they do not, in fact, have bananas. Facts, man. If you have to flex about bananas, then your country's got a lot of problems, and you probably have a shortage of said bananas in other parts of the country. Maybe not in Pyongyang or in the other elite fancy towns, but I'm sure in most of North Korea, the rural parts, bananas aren't really a thing. I mean, shit, they're barely getting rice and kimchi, for God's sake. See, nothing is more North Korean than having your heart pumping because you have the urge to go to the children's hospital with a deadpan face while reading off a teleprompter. It's very passionate, right? So passionate that it makes you go to the hospital and you end up getting like some sort of sickness because of that passion. Anyways, that's basically North Korea influencers for you. See you on the next one.